I'm Joey.T.Cartoon.P, and you're watching the Cartoon Palooza. Something I've noticed ever since I reviewed Hoodwinked is how everybody focused on the fact that I thought the movie sucked, which in some aspects it kinda did. However, looking back on it, it made me realize that this was one of the first videos I gave the okay rating to, which means its bad qualities didn't necessarily outweigh its good ones, or vice versa. Yes, it had terrible animation and questionable plot points, but it also had funny material that was self-aware and unique enough to make it one of the more memorable fractured fairy tale movies. In case you didn't know what a fractured fairy tale was, this is when a movie takes the Shrek direction and parodies fantasy of fairy tales with a modern twist. We tend to forget that there was that brief period in animation where every movie wanted some of that Shrek money. Granted, the Weinsteins have produced worse atrocities that just so happen to be animated. I can't completely fault them for Hoodwinked, which did have an inkling of charm with its self-awareness of looking like crap. However, looking back on it, I think more people were upset with the fact that I didn't talk about its sequel, which was 10 times worse. So you might be wondering why I would review a sequel to a movie 3 years after I looked at the first one. Well, there could be the little detail that Hoodwinked 2 came out later, like 7 years later. At this point, people forgot what Hoodwinked was about, or even if it was a parody of Little Red Riding Hood. My theory was that the movie was always completed 2 to 3 years after the first movie was made. It could explain why the animation isn't much better, or how they rely on the audience to have known what happened in the last movie in order to get what's going on. I'm guessing the Weinsteins never found a reason to greenlight it. I guess they felt that their Arthur franchise was really kicking it off. I wouldn't even say having a Hoodwinked sequel isn't necessarily bad, since the last movie indicated that there would be more to come involving this secret agency for fairy tale creatures. This actually brings up another thing. I don't understand why most modern animated movies feel the need to make their sequels into spy movies. It's like, yeah, we got to know these characters, we get to empathize, relate to them. Let's make them spies now. In this case, Little Red Riding Hood is a secret agent who goes away from the agency in order to seek training to become a better delivery girl. Do I look like I can make this crap up? She's a part of another secret organization that protects recipes for delicious snacks and treats. Their most coveted recipes are stolen conveniently after Red's granny was kidnapped during a rescue mission for Hansel and Gretel. She goes back to help her friends at the agency find their recipe and her grandmother. Sadly, that original whodunit mystery that made the first movie somewhat likable is replaced with a very cliched buddy cop scenario, where the hot shot has to be partnered with the competent yet unconventional partner to set aside their differences and save the day. You could name every twist and turn to this plot just like a tour guide to a theme park attraction. And on your left, you will see the seed where they couldn't work together and their plan falls apart. Ooh! And on your right, around the start of the third act, the two partners see their best qualities in each other and work as a team. Where the first movie had a villain you could kinda see coming, the movie doesn't even bother to try and have a full mystery. It isn't even halfway through the film when you realize Hansel and Gretel were responsible for the whole thing. Honestly, they could have done away with that aspect, but they just wanted to make lame jokes around the title being called Hoodwinked. You'll actually notice that other than 90% of the voice cast returning, they couldn't get Anne Hathaway to return as Red and put Hayden Panettiere in her place. Yeah, I'm sure you forgot that Anne Hathaway was in the first movie. I like to imagine the situation where Hathaway was tricked into giving a voice in the first movie, and then when they approached her to reprise her role, she goes, "I was in that? Well, I'm not on the contract, so you can go find someone else." It also made me realize how the majority of the voice actors who appeared in the first movie were already established Disney alumni. Dave and Ogden Spears, Glenn Close, Patrick Warburton, Andy Dick, Martin Short, and Blake Garrett. The villains are voiced by Amy Poehler and Bill Hader. A pre-Inside Out Amy Poehler and Bill Hader, mind you. That doesn't take away from the fact that hearing them give voice to two small Aryan children is pretty hilarious. Did I mention the Aryans? Because I didn't have to. The movie did it for me.
Giant superpowered German kids. Did not see that coming.
Did I mention this movie gets racist? Now, I know what you're thinking. What's this guy talking about? Maybe he's looking too hard at something that isn't even there. But what if I showed you the first scene where we're introduced to Red?
So, you think you can deliver that basket of goodies across my bread, do you? No, no, no. You did not just say that. I did not hear that.
Yeah, this isn't the only stereotypical black character in the movie. About every character that's assumed to be black is either talking like an overblown stereotype or a caricature of a popular black celebrity.
But around the kitchen, honey, we just call it the super truffle.
A quest? I love the. Ooh, you work out? Ooh, that's cheating. That is so cheating. Holla. I thought I told you to stay off my corner.
Happy Black History Month? In case you didn't think black people had it hard enough in this film, wait till you see the stereotypical Mexican played by the pigs and an Italian gangster. Really progressive storytelling at its best. What's the real kicker is how two of these pigs are voiced by Cheech and Chong. Now isn't it great how the rarity of seeing these two in a movie are in a schlocky animated picture starring Little Red Riding Hood? Granted, I would want to get stoned watching this, but I'd like to think they passed an opportunity to be in a Judd Apatow produced movie starring Seth Rogen and James Franco. Actually, why isn't that a thing yet? I honestly don't think the writers were trying to offend anybody, but actually believe this is how people talk, which is a shame since it shows how out of touch the filmmakers are with the times, or reality, or sanity. Thankfully, Patrick Warburton as the wolf is still enjoyable to watch. Then again, I think it's just a sign that Warburton tries to take the worst he's given and make it work somehow, shape, or form. Something else from the last movie that was significantly changed was the Woodsman, who went from being mentally challenged in the first film to slightly competent, as a shoehorned plot point. All he does is show up out of nowhere to help our characters. There's no context, there's no nothing other than, I was in the first movie, so I gotta be here. They really didn't bother to make him a character at all in this film. But you know what? If I could get past all the badly dubbed voices, get past the semi-racism, get past the underdeveloped story and plot, what this movie has that makes me want to hurt myself after viewing it are the painful puns.
Alphabet. Which sided in window?
Which window?
Roger.
Who's Roger?
Oh, muffins.
She's getting us ready for the baking.
I'm too young to be a strudel.
Stop with the puns.
Are you trying to play my harp? We blew up the wrong house again.
His every breath mocks us.
Hey, Porky, how about a demo?
And I still have 38 payments left on my shelf.
Okay, let me break it down to you guys. I've been reviewing animated movies for such a long time that I've had it up to here with forced wordplay. Cause it shows up in almost every bad animated movie. What else can I say? It's annoying, it never ends, and this movie makes me want to do bad things. On one hand, there wasn't that much to expect. The first movie was not great. It looked like it was made with outdated software, but it had a lot of moments with inspired humor. I really can't say the same for the second, which nobody thought would have happened, and yet it did, and it blew. Terrible animation, lacking characters, and not nearly anywhere as clever or inspired as the first, which, like I said before, is not much to work with. So keeping in touch to the last Hoodwinked review, I want to ask you, what is the worst animated movie that's so bad, it's just bad? Whereas, instead of a bad movie that's ironically good, this one just flat out sucks. Comment and let me know. Now I'm Joey Tedesco, and thanks for watching this review on the Cartoon Palooza.